Like, this isn't in spite of him, right? Like, you did this for you.
I know it's a risk, but I'm a risk taker, and I hope it will bring me happiness.
Yes, I'm beautiful and I know. Yes, you're beautiful and we know. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Come with me, come with me. Yay! Yay!
Natalie is back, and as ever, she's in a world of her own. She believes that cosmetic surgery is the answer to all of her prayers. But someone needs to tell her that true happiness comes from within. It doesn't come from finding a partner or changing the way you look. So can this help her to find peace within herself? Well, let's rewind to the start and join Natalie on the latest episode of 90 Day Diaries.
I'm 40, but I feel I'm 28, and I'm about to do my nose.
So the last time we saw Natalie on our screens was on the last resort when Josh finally broke up with her. She was devastated by this, like she'd been waiting for him for so long to get serious and maybe perhaps hopefully give her kids. But finally realising he was just a time waster all this time and then getting dumped by him anyway seems to have really impacted Natalie.
I spent 3 years of my life waiting for Josh to choose me, and he never did. And every day since then, I'm choosing myself.
Okay, that sounds good. Like Natalie says that she's made some real changes in her life to try and better herself. Like, I'm not sneering at that, that's amazing, if true, because Natalie, as we all know, had a lot to work on. So what exactly did she do? Did she start intense therapy? Did she get some help for all of her trust and anger issues maybe? Has she been working on her jealousy or her bitchy attitude, perhaps?
I work on my goals, I work on my career, I work on my education, I work on my body. There are a couple of other things that I want to fix in myself to be the best version of me.
Oh, okay, got it. So no mention whatsoever of working on her mind or her personality. I mean, frankly, her body has never been the issue with Natalie. She is objectively a beautiful lady, but to be the best version of her, as she says, I'd have thought she might want to set aside some time to work on what goes on in her mind. That needs a lot of therapy. I mean, lots. But of course, she doesn't mention that whatsoever. Instead, she focuses on her nose. You see, apparently she tells us since she was a child, she was constantly teased for having what she calls a witchy nose. And now, after being plagued by that trauma for years, it seems, she's determined to change that once and for all.
And when I smile, I don't want my nose like, oh, yeah, she's cute, but her nose is a little bit witchy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want to be Cinderella.
Now, there is always the chance that she misheard what other kids said. Maybe it wasn't witchy, but rather bitchy. But if it is correct, then all I've got to say is, I'm sorry, Natalie. I know you live in an imaginary world of your own, right? But you are not a fairy tale princess, and no amount of cosmetic surgery will ever get you there. Like, I mean, even if we were to put looks to one side, surely to be Cinderella, you need to have a nice, kind, sweet personality. I think for Natalie, that might be a tad bit challenging. Now, after her consultation with the plastic surgeon, Natalie meets up with some of her friends to discuss everything.
Daria, she studies with me psychology at college. China, I met at the party. I love her a lot. She actually dates Sijin, whose 90-day story also failed.
Oh, okay. Way to drop that in there, Natalie. Blink and you might have missed it. She just casually mentioned the fact that she now studies psychology at college, which is where she met one of her friends. Again, good for her. Hopefully her studies can help her understand her own mind a bit better. Now, of course, Lord help us all if one day Natalie becomes a therapist. I mean, I can hardly see her being the voice of reason for other people in the future. But heck, maybe that might make for good entertainment. Maybe she might be the perfect last resort therapist. Hardly seems like they're any good at their job. I mean, she can't be too much worse. Either way, alongside her friend from college and also alongside St. John's girlfriend. That's a blast from the past if ever I heard one. What a random collaboration and friendship that is. But either way, if you haven't seen this lady or you can't remember her, I've got a video all about her, St. John, and their open relationship. So I'll include a link to that at the end of the video if you want to catch up on that. But either way, Natalie shares with her friends about her upcoming nose job. She tells them her confidence was on the floor after Josh broke up with her. She felt like she wasn't good enough. But naturally, her friends hearing this have a big question they need to ask.
Like, this isn't in spite of him, right? Like, you did this for you.
First of all, I do it for myself.
She might say that she wants to have the surgery to improve herself, but she sure did take a long time to answer, didn't she? Look, taking such a big step to alter the way that you look, right, should be about her. It should be for her. It shouldn't be because of some guy that was never ever going to be serious with her anyway. Now, after her friends, the next person that Natalie wants to share her news with is her mum. Remember, her mum now lives in the States. But when Natalie breaks the news to her, her mum's reaction is less than enthusiastic.
Я хочу себе сделать нос.
Ни за что.
Чего?
Да ты что?
As a former nurse, Natalie's mum is worried not only about the risks associated with any surgery, but also the risks associated with getting a horrible outcome. Natalie tells us her mum has seen firsthand many botched surgeries in the past. Don't go under the knife, her mum begs her. Beauty, she says to her daughter, is achieved by going to the gym or getting a facial cream. You don't get true beauty through surgery, she says, and it's very clear that she's completely against it. So is that enough to deter Natalie? Well, given how close she is to her mum's attitude has certainly caused her to worry.
What if operation goes wrong? I need to make a right decision.
Ты не обещаешь ничего не делать. Наталья, не делай. Ни за что.
It is interesting that Natalie's mum is so vehemently against surgery because, let's just be honest, this wouldn't exactly be the first procedure that she's had done. I mean, we know that she's had at least one operation on her nose back when she was with Mike. Now, to be fair to her, back then, she said that surgery, that nose job, wasn't cosmetic, but rather medical. It was because she struggled to breathe, she told us, and while some people might not have believed that was the full reason, either way, despite her mum's worries, the next time we see Natalie, she is preparing for the operation. In fact, she's stood in front of the mirror, analysing how different noses would suit her face, and imagining what effect they'll have on her personality.
When I imagine myself having this cute dolly nose, I feel like cheerleader, I don't know.
Yes, beautiful and no. Yes, you're beautiful and no.
Yeah, her cheerleading clearly whips her up into a frenzy because she decides the allure of a new nose is worth going against her mum's wishes. She makes her decision, she decides what nose she's gonna go for, and the next time we see her, it's operation day. In secret, without having told her mum, Natalie has weighed up the pros and cons and decided to go for it anyway.
I know it's a risk, but I'm a risk taker, and I hope it will bring me happiness.
And that right there is a big problem. If your happiness constantly depends on how you look, you'll always find another thing that has to change. Like there'll always be something else to focus on that makes you feel miserable. Now, while Natalie is hoping that the surgery will make her feel more confident, ironically, that's the complete opposite of how she feels right before the surgery.
I feel a little bit helpless and scared, and I wish I would have my mom's support, but I don't.
All right, go ahead, lay back this way for me, sweetie.
Now, despite her nerves and despite feeling alone, Natalie's surgery does go well and her friend picks her up soon after. She needs to rest. But before she can do so, she needs to go home and face her mum. She needs to admit that she didn't listen to her advice and she had the surgery anyway. And her poor mum, as she walks through the door, has the shock of her life.
Привет, Алочка.
Yeah, she might not have supported the idea of surgery, but like any good mum, her mum will be there to help take care of her in the aftermath. Like, that is sweet to see. Now, recovery does, of course, take a while, and the next time we join Natalie, it's 2 months later. She's now more or less completely healed, and she's ready to reveal her new look to the world.
Are you ready to see my huge transformation? I'm excited. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! Ta-da!
Look, first things first, okay, I've got to admit it, that new nose does actually look really good on her. It has made a big difference. It looks good. I mean, it's less crooked and it fits her face a lot better than her old nose. If anything, it has almost softened the look of her face. But I just wish her personality could be as easily transformed. Now, ultimately, the only person whose opinion really matters, the person who has to live with it, is Natalie, and she seems happy with the results. Her new look makes her feel hopeful for the future, she tells us.
Today, new chapter of my life begins. And I will make sure to write a beautiful story of my life.
That's great and all, but, and it's a big but, since this was filmed, it seems like the floodgates may have opened. You see, this nose job isn't the only cosmetic work that Natalie has got. She's also had a tummy tuck, lipo, and even a neck lift.
In Natalie's case, we're going to do tummy tuck and liposuction. The tummy tuck will allow me to remove some extra skin, and the liposuction will help me sculpt her body. And lastly, I'm going to take that fat and transfer it to her hip dips, which will help me give her a more hourglass shape.
We're going to be tightening that musculature in the midline. She's had liposuction before elsewhere. It's a little bit overdone, which has hollowed out and skeletonized the neck in a certain respect. We're also going to be trimming a little bit of the skin in and around the earlobe.
And it does raise the question, where will this search for happiness stop? Will any of these changes make her happy? Will they make her a better person? I doubt it. I can only hope that at the very least, Natalie is making these changes for herself and not in the deluded hope that it will help her to snag a guy or become a model or an actress one day. I really hope that as well as on the outside, she's also trying to better herself on the inside at the same time. Because, as we all know, it's on the inside where she really has the most work to do.